Hey, how we doing, guys? Hope you guys had a good week. Here I'm making my other video for you guys. It's gonna be about the channel, which is a life, liberty, and the pursuit of balance. Thank you for coming back and watching my show. I really appreciate it. I also want to give a shout out to the graduates of 2020. Going through this time, it really sucks that you guys have to go through this and not have a graduation. I can't imagine having that because this is like your last year for high school. And, that is probably the most important thing in your life before you go out into the real world. Just walking onto that stage, knowing that was the final goodbye and that was it. Because your next move is to go on and see what you're going to do in life. So that's, I feel real bad for you guys, and I just hope the best for you. But just know that even though this happened, each and one of you is going to be stronger because of what happened. Not everybody gets a chance to, hopefully you guys can overcome this and, make a better situation out of a bad one. Everybody gets to graduation and you guys didn't. I know that for a fact. But, don't take it for granted that was probably one of the best things that you've ever had in your life. And in future reference, you could always tell that to the next person that's next to you that's about to graduate. You can make a negative into a positive by telling them, look, you're not going to go through this. At least you're going to have your graduation. Be grateful that you're going to have this graduation. Not that you're ungrateful. It's just so you can realize that some people didn't get that chance. So I give a shout out to you guys. So just keep your heads up. Whatever comes your way, try to push it forward. When life gives you lemons, you squeeze them, and you squeeze them hard. And then also, with this pandemic still kind of going, I want to help you guys out a little bit more with, when you sneeze or cough anywhere, try to do it into your elbow. Instead of doing it with your hands, that way you're sure that it's not going to be in your hands and it won't touch your face that way. And spread this around too, because not a lot of people know. Just letting them know, making it a habit. And if you're a forgetful person, just do it right now. And like after the video is done, just, make it a habit. Just like that and pretend you're sneezing and coughing. I know it's funny right now, but, in the long run, try to teach yourself and make it a habit. That way, even without this pandemic or virus, it'll be something to protect others from any other kind of symptoms too, just by doing that. We're still saying hi just from far away, not too close. So try to stay safe, wear that mask. So now I'll move on to the video, which is, as you see the title, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Balance. And the whole point of that title was that, we all have a life. Each one of us has a life. We're all humans. We also have liberty. Each and one of us has a liberty to walk on this earth, basically. Each person, as soon as they're born, they have those two things. But the one thing that we really don't have is balance. That is where we lose our touch. When we were born, we don't know what balance was. We don't know what it is. We don't know we didn't even know what that just balance is in the whole way of saying, what does that mean? Because we weren't looking for that. All we were looking for is to have a life and to know that we have liberty as we grow up, right? And live our life. But sooner or later, you're going to have to find a balance, right? And anything in your life, anything, you need to find balance. Good, bad, negative, positive, the ups and downs. You need to be able to balance all that. Especially for you guys coming out of high school, I want you to know that if anything in life, you don't know what you're looking for, at least know that you should have a balance. And that has to do with work, your exercise, how well you keep yourself health-wise. If you're going to have a home in the future, if you're deciding, you want to have your own home, or, want to have your own cars, in the process that you're getting there, you have to have that balance of, there's going to be downs, but you're going to have to get up. There's going to be a lot of failures, but in those failures, you need to succeed, and you will succeed. Even if a person is to succeed from the start, some point in time, they're going to fail, and they're going to fail hard. And that's where the balance has to come in, is you have to know when that does fail, when you do start to struggle, is you know how to take care of it. You know how to make it better. Make a negative into a positive. Just like if you had a kid, you have to have discipline, but you also have to have a lot of, a good example of yourself. So if you don't discipline him enough, he's not gonna really realize, the example that you are. He's gonna do whatever he wants. Let him do how he wants to do it, the kids. And if that's not balanced, then that's where it gets out of hand. And as you're going through the process to get what you want, it gets a little harder, and you start making bad choices or the wrong choices and stuff like that. And even mistakes, which everybody does, right? But if you could find, what is stopping you from doing from what you want to do, you find that out. That way you have a good balance. Certain things that we can't do in life is just because, there could be stress, and unnecessary too, just from like financial problems, or, trying to get to your house as soon as possible, to get that car as soon as possible. That could be pretty stressful when it doesn't come that close or that fast, and it starts to get farther away. It starts to get stressful. And then financially, you're probably struggling check by check. Each week, you're just hoping to have extra money, but you don't, because you're just getting stressed each week, and you just blow all the money, basically. And every video that I'm going to show, it's going to show you, the balance in each one, that what you should do in each situation, not to push it too far, but to take action at the same time, to see if it's even worth it, and do it in any situation. And, you try to make the best of it. As I'm always going to say, when something comes at you, don't let it control you. You control it. And that, one of them being money. Don't let money be a factor of your life. Yeah, the money comes and goes, and it's going to come back. So you shouldn't rely on that. What you should have is support. Have friends, family, especially, and communicate and talk. And it doesn't matter whatever, just like, about life, about how you've been working, how you've been living, like just saying what's up to everybody. And then I think one of the biggest things that I want to tell you is about my grandpa's passing. I basically had an epiphany at that situation when he was, passing. I got the call. I didn't. It was, it wasn't. If it didn't feel real. I was there the day before, and as soon as all that was happening, I couldn't believe it. Like, it wasn't happening. And a day after, a week after it passes, and I'm like, I realized that, he lived his life the best he could. He tried his best to always help every one person that he could in any way, even just through talking, through advice. If you ask him anything about how to fix a problem, if he knew, he'll help you out. And he would tell you straight up and be honest with you. That's the type of person he was. He lived up to 84 years old. And that's a pretty long time. Doesn't matter what age you are, but as long as you're happy where you're at and how you want to move forward with your own, life. And I think that was a life lesson for me, because then that showed me there's a balance in life. You enjoy it, be happy, at the same time you take care of business and whatever you got to do. And then you help others and the experiences that you've had. And that's what he did all the time. He was the type of person that because he went to church and he was really into it. And he always liked to debate on a lot of things about that. So, I look up to him that way. And I think that's why I have this thing to tell everybody here on YouTube, just to have that voice for everybody and just to tell you the experiences that I'm going through. He's had different experiences than what I'm going through, right? But I've listened to everything that he said. Always listen to a person that's older than you and be quiet until you're ready to be, ready to talk. Always listen, because they will have good advice. The life lesson was that if he didn't pass on, that I wouldn't open my eyes up more clearly, if that makes sense. I feel like that's how life is. It's natural, to see one of your own grandparents pass on, and for a person to realize, he was here for a time, he enjoyed it, and now he's moved on, and now it looks like I have to move on onto my chapter, right? Because it just shows you that they can leave like that. And for us younger children, their children and my parents, we have to learn that, life is going to be short. It is. But, like I said, make the best of it each moment. And another thing is that, if one of your, siblings or parents, friends, grandparents, anybody has passed away, and you feel, selfish or whatever, it's okay if you need to let it out. It's all right, because it's like a little box that you keep in. You keep it in this little box, and from time to time, you can come back to it, right? So I wouldn't say move on from remembering him, because you can always come back into this area that you always have this, flashbacks or remembrance. And it's happened to me many times, and it's okay. to come to this area of, just to let it out. To this day, it still happens to me. I think about him. Of all the things that he said, of all the things that I do in my life, as simple as sweeping. Every time I sweep, I always think of him. I could just remember him telling me how to do it my first time. And, I kind of I was like, my own stubborn ways, how are you showing me like that? I know what I'm doing. But he showed me, and, in that moment, I'm not going to realize it, but when I started doing it myself and he wasn't here, it started hitting me every time. And I was like, I thank him for showing me all the things that he's done for me. I'm trying to hold it in right now, but when people are trying to tell you something, they're trying to teach you something, trying to give you advice, just listen to them, because they have a reason. You will take that to the grave. You will take that, and you will teach your own kids to do the same things that you did. They're not traditions or religions or stuff like that you can pass on. It's just simple things that you can show them. So there's remembrance of you or the person before you. Even just driving in the car, I get flashbacks of him and stuff like that. That's my situation, and just trying to give you a little bit of what is happening in my life. For you young kids coming out, you probably haven't experienced that yet, and for the ones that have experienced that, I give you my condolences and my sorrow for you guys. But you become a big and stronger person, and that's the whole point of life. It has to move on. Time doesn't wait for nobody. You keep going. But in the time that you're going through, you learn things and take it within yourself. And especially for the people that, they couldn't be there because they're from another state or another country. I don't even know what to say about those situations. It breaks my heart. There's some things that just prevent you from doing that, and you can't be there. And for that, I'm grateful that I was able to be there at that moment, up to the last day. So, and even you as that person, you will be that person that's just as strong as anybody else for not being able to be there. So, that's my part, and hopefully it didn't take up, most of the video, but I felt like I needed to tell you guys so you know what I'm trying to get at. And, I want you to be able to pass this on, this information, and, just give it around. And if you feel like something in these videos that you feel like has changed you in some way, I was told by somebody that, they felt like they owed me one. Just because I was making the video, or just talking about certain situations, they felt like they owed me one. But what I told them instead was, I don't want you to give me money. I don't want you to give me, any thank yous or anything like that. Appreciation is fine enough for me. But what I want you to do is take what you got and share it with somebody else. share the life-changing experience that you obtain and try to show it to 10 other people. The same situation that you've experienced, you know, something that hit you, you had an epiphany, and you pass it on to somebody else. You know, word of mouth is the best way. In any way, shape, or form, you do your best. And I also want to say, you know, have good karma. If you do good things for other people, just out of, you know, just out of the sake of just doing it for somebody else, that will come back around, you know. Just like in my first video about the car situation, I am so thankful for that person still. You know, and hopefully he has good things coming for him because of the way what he did, you know. I hope that you guys take that within yourselves, and make peace with yourself, you know. Try to, in this time that we have a lot, all the time that we have right now, just try to find something that motivates you, that will make you go forward in life. You know, try to find that peace within yourself. Because I felt like I have found that peace. And, you know, I mean, that's just what I want you guys to take from this, is just pass on all the videos coming forward. That's what I want you to do, is just share it. You know, let everybody know. Kids that are coming just out of high school, let them know. Share it with them. That way they can see the experiences and the future videos that I'm going to make. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about it too is there should be certain things that you should have learned from this. Just from like, I've made like 3 points, you know, even for myself. I've made these 3 points where, you know, if we have all this time, we should have no excuse for these. And what I put down was, is reading and exercising. That's 1 point. You know, just reading for 10 minutes. There's no excuse now. You read that book. I have started reading books now. You know, just little pages here and there, and you know, it's helping me a bit. Some are like, you know, surprising me because it's a certain book that I'm reading. Exercising. I'm exercising more than I did before. And the next point is like maybe thinking about business wise. Like, have you thought about, you know, what you wanted to sell, or, you know, what your career you want it to be as soon as possible, how you can make it happen. You know, you have time for that. You can research all that stuff. You know, that with all this going on, there is time. And the last point is, you know, like I said already, was to find peace within yourself. And the way that I think you can do that is just talking to others, you know, listening to their stories and maybe their situations that they've gone through, some deep ones. You might find peace within yourself through that. You know, communication is key in anything. And that's where you'll find your balance as well. Communicating. So this is about to wrap up the video. And, you know, if you have any questions or comments about what I said, please feel free to put them down there. I will respond to you. And also, you know, if you can share, and what I would like you to do, well, not would like you, but if you could just hit the notification button, so that way every time that I come out with a video, you will get that notification. And you can go in the settings and control how often you want it to be, you know, notified and stuff like that. You know, and for, I think, and exercising, really, if you don't do, you haven't done any, or you never do it, you know, what I ask at least is that you do warm-ups, just warm-ups in the morning and at night, just like simple exercises that doesn't require you to move your body around. It's like run, walk, you know, sit-ups, push-ups, nothing like that. It's just you stand in your place and you just stretch your arms, your legs, stretch the wrists, you know, because we're on our phones and stuff like that. We're more on them more than often now. So, you know, do these that help you out. And so that way in the morning, it'll stimulate your brain that your body's good and you don't feel like groggy or, you know, lazy. This way it'll help you out. And in the night, to prevent you from having like cramps or, you know, a hard sleep during that nighttime. So you can wake up good in the morning. And don't forget that water. Drink it in the morning. Have a bottle of water at night right there next to you. So when you wake up, that's the first thing you see. The first thing you do is drink that water. You'll feel it once it goes down your body. You feel really good because I've done it I do it every day and it feels really good. And hopefully you guys have a good week. You know, try to do those 3 things. See if it's going to work out for you or not. You know, if you have, like I said, comments, please go ahead and comment below. Even about this video of whatever lights, just criticize me. Anything helps. And so, you know, as always, hopefully you make the best of it. All right, peace out.